CMV, unpaid internships contribute to class barriers in society and should be illegal. The concept behind unpaid internships sounds good: work for free but gain valuable work experience or an opportunity for a job. But here is the problem: since you aren't being paid, you have to either already have enough money ahead of time or you need to work a second job to support yourself. This creates a natural built-in inequality among interns from poor and privileged backgrounds. The interns from poor backgrounds have to spend energy working a second job, yet the privileged interns who have money already don't have to work a second job and can save that energy and channel it into their internship. We already know that it helps to have connections, but the effect is maximized when you need connections to get an unpaid internship that really only the people with those connections could afford in the first place. How is someone from a poor background supposed to have any fair chance at these opportunities? There is a reason why these positions are unpaid, because the companies see no value in paying for it. Therefore, if we were to mandate that all internships have to be paid positions, there would be significantly lesser internships to go around. Would this be a better option? If the only internships that disappear are the unpaid ones, then I'm perfectly okay with less internships. The companies may not see any value in paying them, but they saw value in having unpaid interns. If that value was in employee recruitment, then I'm glad it's gone, because now that company has to turn to the general population to hire instead of from their group of unpaid interns. This means that people from poor backgrounds have a better chance to land the job since they can submit their application in with the rest. In order to host an unpaid internship, you have to meet a number of criteria, which pretty much guarantee that the internship will not be valuable to you. So, the kind of unpaid internship you seem to object to is already illegal. But the kind of unpaid internship that is actually educational and of more benefit to the intern than the company is legal. Do you believe these should be eliminated? As someone who has worked with unpaid interns, I can tell you that it was barely valuable to me and my organization. Interns require a lot of training, they typically have poor judgment, youth, lack of experience, etc., they tend to be overcommitted, and their positions are relatively short-term. So imagine finding educational projects for these people that aren't too high a priority, don't require too much training, and can be just shelved or handed over when the intern leaves. Then train their replacements and repeat. The value is twofold: 1, you create better trained workers for your industry, and 2, every once in a while you identify an intern that you actually want to hire into a full-time job. My school has a program where you can get credits from unpaid internships. I got 6 credits from doing 2 3-month-long unpaid internships. Why should that be illegal? While I agree it is harmful to take advantage of the system of internships, it is incredibly harmful to make them illegal. Should we make good schools illegal since they propagate sociological differences, or should we rather look for ways to help prop up poorer citizens? I see a lot of people comparing unpaid internships to school, and I just don't see the similarities. First off, school is a service that you pay for, not a business trying to employ people for free. Completely different category with different context. It's impossible to make school not cost anything, and we are too far out from social higher education, but unpaid internships can be eliminated right now if our legislatures wanted to. Secondly, there are many avenues to get a student loan for education, and also lots of scholarship opportunities for poorer students who perform well in school. In fact, there are some scholarships specifically designed to benefit lower-income families among nearly all schools. I can't think of such a benefit for unpaid interns. So to answer your question, no, we don't need to make good schools illegal. I feel like your argument could be applied verbatim to college. College provides experience that helps you get a better job, but not only do you not get paid to attend college, you have to pay to go there. Since you aren't getting paid, you either have to have the money ahead of time, work on the side to earn it, or borrow the money. This creates a natural built-in inequality among students from poor and privileged backgrounds. It's almost exactly the same rationale, but nobody is arguing to ban college. About the only difference is the ability to get loans to pay for college, but I doubt you'd advocate to make loans available so that people can work unpaid internships. Unpaid internships are basically free training. Training people is costly and often reduces productivity. Usually, the main way they benefit the employer is that they help the employer find good candidates to hire. I agree that it is unfair to low-income people because they can't afford to go get training for free. The only solution I can see is to allow student loans to cover the cost of a 3-month internship or something like that. But I don't think it's a good idea to ban employers from giving training/internships for free. Sadly, the alternative is that these firms just eliminate internships altogether or reduce the number since they are required to be paid. Unpaid internships also are generally limited to saturated fields. Engineering interns can make $15 to $30 per hour at many companies because they are extremely in demand and create monetary value even as interns. You pay money to go to class to gain valuable experience. It requires time, money, and commitment. An internship only requires time. By your logic, people should also be paid to be in school or at the gym. You're doing it to benefit yourself. If it costs time and money, that's on you. Except that internships also benefit the company you're interning for, and they frequently take much more time than a hobby or going to the gym. I work in technical theater, and when I was right out of college I took an unpaid internship because I couldn't find any paid work. I work 36 to 50 hours a week for them. With that kind of time commitment, I couldn't have held down another job at the same time, particularly not one that paid enough to support myself. If I didn't have parents who were willing and able to financially support me during those few months, I would not have been able to take that internship, and I would be at a very different place in my career now. And while the theater certainly could have done the show without me, I did provide very real value to the rehearsal process. I did a lot of the work that would otherwise have been taken on by the stage manager and ASM, and which at least the ASM probably would have needed extra pay for because of increased hours doing that work. While my direct supervisors did a great job making sure it was a valuable and educational experience for me, that was not inherent to the setup. There was nothing to stop them from using me as an errand girl and nothing else, in which case I wouldn't have even been getting paid in experience. If people are working for you, you should pay them. If someone wants to shadow an employee or observe or interview you for information, that's for their own benefit. But if they are doing a job for your company, you need to pay them for their work.